Greetings, everybody. In our prior installment, we dug into the culinary traditions of the ancient Sumerians and Akkadians. Today, we shall continue this discourse, delving into the dietary proclivities of those who resided 4 millennia ago. We know that the realm of Sumer and Akkad operated as a society predicated upon enslavement. The mean lifespan within the kingdom amounted to 40 years. 3 distinct demographic cohorts met their untimely demise before reaching this chronological threshold. Foremost amongst them were the enslaved, followed by warriors, mariners, and a cohort of indigent free citizens, denoted as dependent. King Shulgi-Sin refrained from military conflicts during the inaugural 24 years of his reign. His endeavors were directed toward fortifying the nation. The construction of sacred edifices, aqueducts, thoroughfares, and fortifications. Ascending to an extraordinary zenith of power and having been anointed with the appellation of divine, like by the sacerdotal elite during his lifetime, the king consummated the conquest of all neighboring territories in a mere quintet of years. Henceforth, he earned the epithet Shar-Kishati, sovereign of the universe in the Akkadian tongue. Owing to triumphant military campaigns, the population of slaves, comprising both men and women, burgeoned precipitously. By the 30th year of the reign of this godly potentate, slaves accounted for 1/3 of the entire populace within the kingdom. Slaves undertook the construction of ziggurats and dams, citadels and harbors. A multitude toiled within the sanctified precincts. Opulent individuals retained the service of a singular bondswoman or bondsman, and among affluent clans, several such individuals were concurrently retained. The Sumerians had a penchant for meticulous record-keeping and oversight. By royal edict, masters were held accountable for their male or female slaves. A slave's daily ration amounted to 50 ounces of barley, whereas a female slave received half that allocation. Slaves partook in 2 daily meals, one in the morning and another in the evening. Any surplus barley unutilized by them was bartered for milk, dates, salt, and aromatic spices. On occasion, masters extended the fare with meager portions of bread and fish. Only once a year, during the New Year festivities coinciding with the vernal equinox on March 21st, did slaves indulge in copious servings of meat and imbibe sakeru, an alcoholic libation crafted from barley. Warriors and sailors rarely exceeded 40 years of age. This outcome is unsurprising, given the demanding nature of military and naval expeditions during that epoch fraught with abundant hazards and hardships. Those who completed their military service and emerged unscathed received a lifelong endowment from the king consisting of lands, waterways, and grazing grounds, elevating them to the status of prosperous individuals. Dependents, referring to free yet impoverished citizens, had lifespans scarcely exceeding those of slaves. They toiled in temples or for affluent kin, bartering their labor for sustenance and shelter. Their meals comprised 2 servings daily, a substantial morning repast and a lighter evening fare consumed from earthenware vessels. Alongside barley, their provisions included wheat, lentils, and dates, provided by their masters or temples, with bread being a frequent staple. Periodically, dependents partook in soups, dairy products, cheeses, and, when in season, vegetables and fruits. Fish remained an infrequent indulgence. Meat graced their tables solely on the last day of the lunar month concealed by the moon's absence, marking an occasion known as Kispu, commemorating the host's deceased kin. On occasion, they also received sikaru, while temple attendants were granted a daily ration of beer equivalent to 28 ounces. Half of the Sumer and Akkad kingdom's populace comprised free individuals encompassing royal attendants, guards, laborers in diverse royal workshops and farms, teachers, scribes, community members, merchants, traders, artisans, independent farmers, and agriculturate. It's conceivable that the more prosperous citizens enjoyed somewhat lengthier lifespans compared to slaves and dependents. Wealthy free citizens, primarily the principal clientele of the capital city's marketplace we explored earlier, partook of meals served in copper vessels. Fish was a common presence on their dining tables. While meat was a rarity, it wasn't exclusively reserved for special occasions. Affluent free citizens indulged in substantial morning repasts, occasionally supplementing with snacks between meals featuring dried fruits, dates, marinated sheik fish, or locust. Dinners tended to be modest. A Sumerian adage went, "One who consumes abundantly sleeps fitfully." Affluent citizens, royal confidants and provincial governors, senior military figures and temple clergy, prosperous merchants and lenders, partook in meals with silverware. In they would remark of such individuals, "He adorns himself in a 30 shekel garment." They possessed the means to dine as they pleased whenever they pleased. Meat, even on a daily basis, fish, crustaceans, and mollusks were consumed according to their desires, as were dairy products and cheeses without constraints. The diet of the prosperous citizens featured vegetables and fruits, mushrooms, and nuts. During interludes, they relished fruits steeped in honey, fish bathed in oil, marinated sheep, crustaceans, and mussels. The exceedingly affluent citizens indulged in, alongside the finest beer, date palm wine, and even grape wine. Wealthy individuals who practiced dietary moderation maintained slender figures and enjoyed longevity. Nonetheless, a significant portion of them was obese. Could this be attributed to the enduring Eastern belief that plumpness signifies affluence? Consequently, the well-off also experienced premature deaths caused by heart attacks and strokes, akin to slaves. Again to slaves, albeit due to distinct factors: excessive eating and minimal physical exertion. In our era, several nations worldwide have doubled the life expectancy witnessed in Sumer and Akkad. In Japan, Switzerland, Spain, Singapore, Australia, and France, the average lifespan surpasses 80 years. I extend the same desires to you. May you enjoy robust health, a lengthy life, and self-care.